Good evening and welcome to the Whiskey Lover Society with me, Gert Tief. And tonight, again, it is sample night and a sample night with a little bit of a twist. I made one video already. I put a link in the description on my previous blind tasting. I love the idea. I love the idea of tasting something that I have no idea what it is, give my nosing notes, tasting notes on that mystery whiskey, and then together we can find out what it is. Of course, that creates a situation where I am not tainted with somebody else's views. I can only give my opinion, what did I find in it. And of course, as for me, it's quite exciting to do something like this. So yesterday I did a blind tasting. I was so surprised, so happy with it. It was one of the best whiskies that I've had this year. And that biggest surprise of this, of course, was the fact that it was a Nika coffee grain. I loved it. I think that is definitely something that I'm going to buy as soon as possible. It is a fantastic one. I will put the link in the over here so that you can also go have a look at it. A fantastic dram. So I have 4 big boxes, and I'll just show you quickly. So I have 4 boxes. There's about this is 8 bottles in this one. All in all, I've checked that I have about almost 40 different samples. So when you buy the samples, they just give you a number on it. And and of course, when they give you the documentation that comes with it, I'm not going to open it because the sample comes from this box. And then you can do your tasting and check your notes. After you've done that, of course, you just take out the documentation and you look at the corresponding number and it will tell you what it is. So I think this is a fantastic idea. It's also a fantastic idea if you have friends over and you want to do a blind tasting with them. Pour them a sample, put the bottles in front of the glasses, and of course, afterwards, you give them a pen and paper, they write all the nosing notes, the tasting notes, and then you give an opportunity to pick a winner. And of course, if they are right, then you can give them a nice free bottle of whiskey as a prize. Fantastic idea for parties. So in for this one, I have no idea what it is. Poured a sample about 15 minutes ago, just to give it a little bit of time to breathe. And I'm going to give it a nose, a taste. I'm going to try to guess what it could be, or maybe which region it's from, or maybe even which country it's from. You have certain type of notes that you can pick up from certain regions. Of course, I'm not an expert in everything, but I will give it a try. So, on the nose, cheers. Now, the first thing that I do get is a lovely sweetness. I do get a hint of a little bit of a toasted almonds. Maybe a caramel, toasted caramel almonds. There's a sweetness, but I do get the almonds. Very pleasant. And I must say, that's not something that I normally would pick up on whiskey. I've heard a lot of people that says they get nuts. I normally don't get that nuts, but on this one I do get a little bit of a nutty flavor. And then there's something that's really strange that I pick up. And I've never picked this up, and I think people will think I'm crazy. But I do get a hint of cannabis, dried cannabis leaves. but just a hint of it. That's the first thing that came to mind when I picked it up. It just has got a little bit of a cannabis leaf. Well, now it's going into a little bit of a mint. So like a dry mint leaf. So this is pleasant. Well, especially for the cannabis lovers. Now I don't get the cannabis anymore. I just get a little bit of the mint, maybe like a little bit of a mint tea type of nose coming out. Oh, you know what it really reminds me of? We have my wife bought a one of these little plants, the chocolate mint plant. When you break this, the leaves and you flatten it or roll it between your fingers, you got a little bit choc mint type of notes. That reminds me a lot like that. So forget about the cannabis. So this is really nice. I also get a little bit of, and in South Africa we had a Turkish delight. It is a jelly-like center. Well, more set. It's not liquid, but it's like a pinkish color, and it's covered with chocolate. I will try to find a picture and I'll put it up when I do the editing. And it's got a little bit of a rose water in it. So I do get that reference of that rose water and the sweetness of the chocolate. So it's a little bit similar to that. This is really bringing me back to my old country. So I also get some cinnamon. So in the back there's a cinnamon and a vanilla. So definitely some oak influence in it. A little bit of a salted caramel also. Wow, this is really, really nice. Alcohol-wise, even if I stick my nose in it, I do get the alcohol, but it's not a unpleasant, youthful alcohol note coming out. So I'm not sure about the ABV, but on the nose, it does not feel very high. There's also maybe also a little bit of a toffee caramel type of note, but it's a little bit of a strange one for me. That's something that I cannot place on the nose. So I'm not sure if it is a bourbon. I'm not even sure if it's a Scotch. It could be maybe a little bit of an Irish note as well. But on the nose, it's a little bit difficult for me to pick a region. And that's quite exciting for me. And I also get a little bit of a butter note. Like the smell of popcorn that just got a lot of butter notes on it. I get a little bit of a buttery note. So on the taste, cheers. Okay, wow. This is not a 45 or 44 or 43% alcohol. This is a hot one. When you take that first little sip, it is like it feels warm and it just disappears. It just evaporates from your mouth. So I guess that this is going to be maybe late 50s, 58. Let me just try again. Yeah, this is very high in ABV. It is so nice though. I know the alcohol is high. I can taste the alcohol is high, but it's strange that I don't get it on the nose. Even if I stick my nose into it, I don't get this high alcohol that I'm getting on the taste. But it is fantastic. It's got the warmth in it. It's got the caramel. It's got a hint of a citrus note coming out as well. It's sweet. The vanilla is there. Let me just try again. As a hint of an oak. So I do get a little oakiness. So what I do suspect, this is not a age statement whiskey. There's not enough oak. If it was maybe a 10 years old or 15 years old, it would have had a lot more of the oaky notes. So this one is quite pleasant. I'm just going to give it another try. I suspect, well, it feels like there is a little bit of a sherry influence. I'm not sure. And now on this sip, I do get a little bit more of the oaky notes, but it's really nice. A lot of toffee note, a lot of creamy note. I do get a little bit of a oiliness coming out, a little bit of a nice oily mouthfeel. And then in the finish, I get sweetness, I get a caramel notes, and I get a finish with a little bit of a oak, maybe going into a little Turkish coffee. Very pleasant. But I think in this one, I am definitely going to add a little bit of water. And I'm just going to, I have about 10 drops in the spoon. Yesterday I added a little bit too much, and I think that's always a good idea. Drop at a time, just to make sure that you don't put too much water in. So with a little bit of water, wow, on the nose, buttery notes, buttered popcorn, sweet caramel, vanilla's coming out, the cinnamons are coming out. This is fantastic. It reminds me a little bit of a marzipan or a almonds covered with caster sugar and toasted a little bit. It is fantastic on the nose. So taste-wise, with a water added, it's still hot. So I know I can add here a little bit more water, but I think for me this is perfect. It's toned down a little bit with the alcohol, and the sweetness is coming out, the caramel is coming out, the toffee notes are coming out. It just keeps on giving more and more and more. I'm just going to give it another taste. There's a little bit of a sour note coming out. I have no idea what it is. I do know that I like it. It feels very complex. It feels like it's an old whiskey. And I'm not sure it is old. It only mimics something that is old for me. It is a strange one on the nose. The minty thing, I've never had that in a whiskey. So I have no clue what it is. But I do like it. I like the idea of something that's high in ABV that you can still nose and you don't get that hit of alcohol that wants to punch you in the face. Everything on the nose, everything on the taste for me is really nice. And it puts me in a little bit of a dilemma because yesterday I was talking, nosing and tasting the Nika grain, coffee grain, and I loved it. And yeah, I am a day later and I'm picking another sample that is absolutely fantastic. So that puts me in a dilemma. Which ones is going to end up on my list for 2022, my favorite whiskies? So I think this is also going to be quite a winner, depending on what it was. So I do like it. I am quite impressed with it. Although it is very strange for me, there is a lot of notes that I pick up that I don't really get. The Turkish Delight, I've never had it. The cannabis, I've never had it. The mint, I've never had it. So there's a lot of notes that's unfamiliar to me. So I do like it. Like I said so many times before, I do like it. I really like it. It's something that I will definitely recommend. I will definitely give some of the sample to my friend so that he can also have a look. I will definitely buy it. I think as soon as I'm done with this review, I'm going to order a bottle of whatever it is. So, the big question, what is it? So, I have the documentation here, and sample number 2, and I can tell you what it is. So sample number 2 is the Amrut Cask strength. Well, I was correct. Well, almost correct. 61.8% ABV. That's a big boy. And I paid €7.50 for a bottle of sample bottle. So I suspect if you are going to buy this as a big bottle, you're probably going to be quite expensive. Maybe up towards €60 for a full bottle. But I will give an exact amount, I'll put it over here, exact amount on how much it costs for a full bottle. So Amrut Cask strength, it is, like I said, bottled at 61.8% ABV. Of course, it is a whiskey from India. So this is actually my first Indian whiskey that I tried. So well done, India. This is really nice. What else can I see? It is non-chill filtered. I know that they don't really state anything about with the regards to the maturation. What I've seen other people also saying that just say oak, so I presume it is ex-bourbon cask. But the flavors that they got out of this ex-bourbon cask is really fantastic. Probably also something to do with the hot weather. And that also, it is a no-age statement whiskey, but that also indicates that they extracted a lot from the casks. Of course, with the hotter temperature, and of course, that makes it a little bit darker. So, in the end, no sherry finished in us. I do like it, and I will definitely recommend it. So, that is me with the Amrut Cask strength bottled at 61.8% ABV. Drop a couple of drops of water in it. I think you will thank me later. And that's me for the evening. So thank you very much for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe. I've reached 200 subscribers, but I see almost 95% of the people that watch my videos are not subscribers. And they also tell me that they are returning people to watch my other videos. So do me a favor, just click that subscribe button, and so that you will be notified of all my new videos that's uploaded on a weekly basis. So thank you very much, and I see you next time. Have a fantastic weekend. Cheers.